you know, inside the locker room as we're bringing Nicholas Moreno. Nick, Herb was just saying that it felt like more shock today. I think probably what he's trying to say is over the whole performance, like the fact that like just from start to finish they weren't ready to go, whereas last week it was about more about one play. What was your reaction being around this team in the locker room here in Arizona?
Oh yeah, just watching the game from the press box. I mean, seeing how they came out and all three phases were not prepared for this game after last week. So I definitely agree with Herb on that notion that this is more shocking because this isn't a great Cardinals team. They're winning by game-winning field goals the last 2 weeks, but come out here and beat you by 20. So I completely agree with that. But in terms of the locker room, like Herb said, it was pretty silent, pretty quiet. Not a lot of guys stayed for a long time in there as well. So just hearing some of the guys, I guess some of the people that I heard from, Cole Kmet, Kevin Byard, TJ Edwards, like it doesn't sound like obviously they're quitting on this team, but after a performance like that, it's really disappointing for you guys are in the stadium too. All the Bears fans that traveled to this game, essentially like a home game for the Bears, and yet they put out that performance.
Hey, Nick, did you get a chance to talk to anybody on the D-line in particular or front seven besides TJ Edwards? Because I think them not being able to stop the run, I think, was one of the keys in the game, right? This is a defensive ball club. Just kind of surprised how they came out and they got gashed in the run game.
Yeah, just TJ Edwards was the one guy wooed. And, I mean, look, he was saying that nobody's obviously finger pointing after this loss. And, a lot of questions were asked, like, how do you guys keep this together, especially with the back-to-back, like last week on the Hail Mary and then obviously this week. But it's easy. Like they're basically saying like the media's trying to pick us apart. But as a team, it's their job to stay together. There is no quit from how they're going to approach the rest of these games. Obviously, there's a lot of football to be played. But, yeah, like when for example, that touchdown at the end of the half, it was just how the players are describing it. It was a really good play call. But, TJ Edwards is blocked on that play. Tremaine Edmonds is blocked on that play. You got guys, Austin Booker's trying to attempt to dive and try to get, the running back, but it doesn't work out. But he called it deflating. Anytime you give up any touchdown, he said it's deflating. But it's obviously not a good look for a defense that really all season has kind of given up some yards on the ground. But James Conner was an absolute beast in today's game.
I meant to bring this up a lot earlier in the show, but Carm, you were there with me when the Bears got the ball back with like 3.5 minutes, second quarter. I know I talk about this a lot on this show, but the middle 8 of the game is very, very important. The Bears were set up after, having the coin toss, knowing that they were getting the ball out of halftime, Nick, to double dip.
Mm-hmm.
And I said right there, I go, this middle 8 right here is going to decide this football game. And what happened? They somehow got outscored 7-3. How do you get outscored 7-3 when you have both possessions? That's unbelievable, and that was the game. It was over right there.
100%. This team hasn't given up 21 points in 13 games. So once you had 21 at halftime, you kind of felt like it was over. But just the way that it happened, because they did have a chance to go get 10 in a row or maybe 14 in a row, and then to lose that exchange 7-3, it's like, how did that even just happen like that? It shouldn't have.
And you go 3 and out, guy. And you go 3 and out on that first possession out of halftime. Caleb Williams gets sacked. So it's like, that's just how the Bears have been operating, you guys. And another first quarter without any points scored. And like, that is just not winning football. We talk about those important moments in games and you come out of halftime. Let's see, you get a 1-yard gain from DeAndre Swift, a sack for a 7-yard loss. And then you throw a pass to Keenan Allen for 11 yards, punt, and automatically give it to the Cardinals who go for a field goal. So that's losing football. And the Bears have been pretty good at doing that in terms of not capitalizing on key moments in games.
Hey, Nick, what was like your number one moment in the locker room or the press conference or whatever where you're like, ooh, that is something that just seems way off? Did that happen?
You guys are talking about it, but the whole Eberflus and why the decision to even have Caleb Williams at the end there to, practice those 2-minute situations and to get him reps in those types of moments. Like, you're missing damn near half of your offensive line. The game is over with. You let the Cardinals, who had 15 sacks all season coming into this game, tee off on you for 6 sacks in this game on Caleb Williams. They're not going to be better equipped to block for you in the final 20 seconds of the game than they were early on. So what benefit does it really have? And Caleb said that the defender at the end, because he was limping off the field after the last play, gator rolled and had his ankle, and that's why he tried to go with the roll to, not to avoid any breaks or anything like that. So we'll see. He said he came out of it okay, but you saw it after the game. He was limping. He walked off the field, and he said the defender gator rolled, and it could have all been avoided if you just didn't have him out there.
Nick, last thing I have for you. I don't think we're going to have time to play Cole Kmet on the show tonight. Maybe we'll post it, but to not have a target is just egregious to me, man. Like you are blessed to have. I feel like they just still think Cole Kmet's something he's not. Like, this dude has proven to be a guy who can run routes and get open, make big catches for you. And he's got 1 target in the last 2 games after we started this season with him not even playing more than Gerald Everett in the first game. Like, what in the hell is going on here with this?
To me, that's about offensive coordinator. My bad, Nick. Go ahead. I know you got to go.
No, I was going to go right to that, Herb, because I think that is the offensive coordinator. Because Herb, we were having a pre-conversation like this. It doesn't seem like Walsh is just calling plays and not utilizing what he actually has out there. Like, you have all these playmakers, and right. Caleb said that as well, but they're not being utilized in a way that's advantageous to all of them. And that's the problem here. Like, Cole Kmet should never be in the situation that he is now. He's way too good of a football player to have, like you said, Adam, 1 target in 2 games. Way too good. And he said when he was asked a question about this, when things aren't working, how frustrating is it when you're not involved in the passing game? Of course, he said it was frustrating, but can't dwell on that type of stuff. He feels like he's going to watch the tape, and he does feel like when he's been available, he's capitalized on it. And I think for the most part, if you go look at the stats, every time he's been targeted, he's caught most of the passes that gone his way. The problem is the targeting part that needs to happen first, and that happens, one, with the quarterback and also the play caller designing plays for a guy like Cole Kmet. So when you have all these playmakers and you go out in a performance and don't score a single touchdown, I look at it like Shane Waldron's got to do a better job of dialing up some plays to get these guys involved. But then, quarterback's got to make some throws, you guys. Like, there's some throws where he's not even giving his wide receivers chances. Like, you look at the back right corner fade to Rome, not even close. I'll have to look back at the Keenan one that was in the back left corner because people were saying, oh, that was a good throw. I'm like, he had to put one hand up there to stop the ball. So I don't know. There's a lot of things. And, Keenan said after the game real quickly that he couldn't really pinpoint the problem. And that's, I think, a problem in itself. I think I said the exact same conversation last week after the Commanders game. There's not one problem. It seems to be the same kind of theme going on here 2 weeks in a row.
I think you end up putting a lot of pressure on your young quarterback. I think that's one way you can go about kind of protecting him is, scheming up things. I've been getting questions out on the street about, targets to Cole or targets to DJ. And I tell them all the time, as a quarterback, it's not my business how many targets you get in the game. I'm going to get the play call. I'm going to read the defense. I'm going to go through my progressions, and I'm going to go where the football should go. Sometimes that might be 12 targets for you in the game. Sometimes that might be 3. That ain't my business. It is, though, the business of the offensive coordinator to say, how do I get this guy involved? How do I take advantage of the fact that I do have one of the best tight ends in the league, that he is proven in this league, that he can work in the middle of the field, and he can create some mismatches for you. You got all these other weapons. They got to worry about DJ. They got to worry about Rome and Keenan. They got to do that, right? DeAndre Swift's gotten going. You got to worry about that. And also, I still got 85. I got to be able to scheme up some things so that he's the primary or the secondary read so that he can get open. Don't put that on Caleb, because now you got all these veterans looking at the Rick like, throw me the ball. No, scheme it up so that you can say DJ's the first read on here. Cole's the next read on it.
Well, and Shane has said that the hardest job that he has is getting everybody involved. Like, that's when you have a lot of talented guys who are expecting the football, not the easiest thing, I suppose, to do to make sure that everyone's happy out there. But the problem would you
rather not have the weapons?
Right. Well, but the problem that I'm seeing where I put it on Caleb, at least some, and Shane's obviously got to do a better job. But, when he's dropping back 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and then he's padding, he's looking, doesn't seem comfortable where he's going, and then he's bailing out of there. Yeah. And now he's trying to play hero ball, which he was great at and won a Heisman Trophy, and it's part of his, it's part of what makes you so excited about him. But this, of course, is the NFL, and that's not going to function as well.
Yeah, that's not going to happen at this level. Can't do the same things you did in college. But I think getting Cole Kmet involved would be that security blanket for him. I think every great quarterback has that great tight end they can rely on. I think it would make things easier. So when you look on paper, all their weapons, there's a lot of teams out there that would kill for the type of weapons that they have.
Those are risk problems.
Exactly. and we're looking at this offense. They can't even put up points and yards with these type of weapons. So that's the most frustrating part about it.
Hey, Nick, anything else we need to get from you before you dip out? And we'll make sure we're reading everything at allchgo.com.
No, you guys are doing a great job at the show. Hopefully people are having as much of a good time as they can at Salt. But you guys do your thing, and I'll catch up with you guys later.
All right.
Walk on over here, Nick. You ain't doing nothing. Walk over here, man. Let's go.
He's got some stuff to write, but he's coming over. We're going to be here for a while.
We all silly like the mayor.